Hello, I am Tania Arrayales, President of the Club of Budapest, Mexico. Thank you for being today here in this great event that represents all the effort that we are having to save our planet. You are my family, and I am here to talk to you about how important it is to create the balance in Mexico and in the world, and to be together and empower each other. We are facing a challenge in Mexico. It's a great imbalance between all the systems and between the education that it's given to us since we are in school and when we go through all the different sectors in the society. This imbalance is reflecting a really poor care in all the ecosystems that we have in Mexico. This is the time for Mexico to wake up. This is the time for us to be supporting every single policy and all the context that will help us to win these battles. Going to talk to the politicians, educating our people in the schools, going through college after college, from master's degrees to PhDs, and to the people that have the power to change and to create the laws that will help us to never have another pipe built in sacred land, never have another mining project authorized in the middle of the heart of the Huicholes. And this is part of the Club of Budapest message to the world. Mexico needs your help. We should create the conditions to always protect our land. We have our own Wirikuta. This was in the land of the Huicholes, and the mining concessions that the government gave to the Canada companies created a big crisis. And we actually fought for it because many people in the society create these movements with the Ajo Colectivo, with all the women groups, with all the environmental people who were really on the line fighting for the Wirikuta and the Huichol people to preserve the land, because the land is not for sale and the water should not be polluted. This is another example of what we need to stop in Mexico and how we need to get together to create the policies that will make us change this degradation of the land. Tajamar, Quintana Roo, just in Cancun, repeating the same cycle of creating these hotels and shopping malls for consumption, for the society to be distracted of what is actually the important issues in Mexico. Overnight, they took all these trucks and destroyed hectares and hectares of manglar that was the house of many species that were then going to go and create the life in the reef. Well, they die, and all the activists and all the people that were standing in the line to create all this fight against the policies that are not really helping right now to preserve our oceans, to preserve our land. Those activists need our support. They need the Club of Budapest Mexico to be involved. Mexico has a big challenge to decide which route we are going to take. Are we going to be depending more in oil, which we don't have that many reserves left? Or we are switching into the new era of clean energy, solar energy, wind power? I believe that we have a choice, and I believe that we can actually take the right decisions. No more dependency of fossil fuels will be a great news for the government to start really creating these policies. We deserve to have all this new technology and innovation implemented in Mexico as part of our every year budget. This is where we choose compassion as a tool to change the result that we are having right now. Humanity is only going to have a chance if we care enough and we put together the tools, and not only physical material tools, economical tools, but our emotional tools, and create whatever we need to create, the platforms to spread the message of compassion. The way that the Club of Budapest Mexico is making an impact in the rural communities is by creating the workshops where we put a person from Mexico City that is fluent in English and in Spanish with a lovely teenager from one of the Maya towns close to Tulum. And in 1 to 2 hour session, they were able to exchange all the 3 languages, Mayan, Spanish, and English. He was so hopeful because suddenly he knew he had a better chance. And just by learning English, he will be able to practice and practice in order for him to have a better job in the future. Even learning Spanish, because a lot of these teenagers, they only speak Mayan. And for them to be able to interact with some other person and to also open their minds in what it is to be in a globalized world, and not necessarily through the screen of the TV that is obviously giving them a different message, different set of values. He was able to speak with one person that was there to give a message of a system based on education, based on dignity, and based on how do you create a future for yourself by trusting on yourself, by not doubting that you can make it. That teaching in that session, because it's not only about speaking 3 languages, it's about the whole process of education, that you are there now, but you can be sitting in this part in the next 3 years, 4 years, if you really go to in this process of education. And now it's being created by Skype using technology. So it's part of a mentorship system that I believe that some of these well-educated MBA students are now in the process to be the mentors for these teenagers in rural Mexico. And I think the Club of Budapest Mexico is definitely doing some social impact, and the results are going to be amazing. I want you to come to Mexico because I'm very proud of my country. Mexico hosts some of the most diverse foods, clothes, artistic representation, festivals. We take it serious when it comes to celebrate with color, with flavors, and with an attitude of love for life.